Thank you, Sam. Let's give Sam a round of applause.
Actually, one thing to say thank you for coming. I was just going to say thank you for running. So I wanted to start off talking about tech and your thoughts about sort of tech and government and the role of technology in society. And you know, you have a new tech policy. I would love to hear about that and just your thoughts about how you'd like to see this all go.
So my take on tech and government is that tech is over here in 2019, and maybe even ahead of that, actually, maybe 2030, let's say. And government is in approximately 1985. Or I'm going to be generous and say 95, because that's when they got rid of the Office of Technology Assessment. Congress looked up and said, I guess everything's been invented. They got rid of. Oh, it was so it was Republicans who were looking to cut costs anywhere they could, and there was this Office of Technology Assessment that was meant to help inform legislators about what's going on in technology and suggest issues that might require some attention, and they got rid of it. So DC has been stuck in 95 and flying blind since. And if you look at the average age of our legislators, it literally is a gerontocracy. It's like the average age is somewhere in the 60s. And we all saw the questioning of Mark Zuckerberg and other tech leaders when they come to DC. And the joke I tell is that this wasn't a surprise visit. Like, they knew he was coming, and they had policy aides actually prepare those questions. So it wasn't like the congressperson just like, oh, you're here, let me think of something smart to ask. That's actually a result of days or weeks of work on the part of their policy staff. So technology, building the future, government dragging decades behind the curve. And this has been quasi-acceptable for a period of time, but it's just now reaching a point where it clearly has massive repercussions for the democracy, for the mental health of our children, for a bunch of very fundamental human issues. And when I talk to technologists like Sam and others, I get inspired because there's this notion that techies are averse to any form of conversation about some sort of guidelines on technology, and that hasn't been my experience. Like, the technologists I talk to, many of them are pretty reasonable, or look up and say, hey, like Elon Musk said to me that, look, all of our incentives on AI development are in one direction, and that is going to lead to problems, and so it would be very useful if there was some other set of incentives, and that's not going to come from the actors in the competition because we're just racing against each other. So that's my perspective on it.